Good evening. Welcome to the Breakfast Club Evening Session. This is Joe Shoup with Shirley Pitts and our special guest, Len Kenzie, the founder, inventor of Zippin Store. Hello, Shirley. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Len. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hi, Joe. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Ken.
Well, this is pretty cool, exciting night. So let's pick up where we kind of left off today, but let's bring everybody up to speed. We have a new little tool, and the thing is, we're going to talk about planning and marketing here and what we need to do. And Len's excited about sharing some stuff with you, and what he sees here and why it's important to do phase 2 of the Zippin Store project, and that is in marketing. So we have an advertising piece. That's what it is. So, and that advertising piece is in the form of a large postcard. It serves two purposes. One, it is a handout. Number two, it is a mail out. So it's something you can give to people while you're out. It is something that you could mail to people. So I'm going to lay out a little plan tonight for those who go ahead and start using this tool and show you what could happen as a team if we do this. And that's what this is a community of people, like-minded entrepreneurs. And for those that want to expand their business, you do that by expanding Cooler Brands. You expand the company, which expands you. So we have to be focused on, we should all be thinking in this company that our job is to make sure that Cooler Brands is growing. And you heard those sayings before, that we have to be part of something bigger than ourselves. What's bigger than us is the preservation and the expansion of Cooler Brands. And that's what our focus has to be. So the question is, what do we do to make that happen? Well, we grow the company by expanding our base, finding people who want to manage a business from home, and finding people who want to buy the products that we bring to the marketplace. Our community is very special that way, to help entrepreneurs bring their ideas into fruition. And the first project that we launched is Zippin Store. And with us tonight is the founder, the inventor, and he's not just an inventor of this. This is a true inventor who spent his childhood and spent his lifetime dedicated to making things better for people. Inventions. And it's funny, Len, I was looking last night, I was working on things, and I know we talked late, and I was watching a show with Nikola Tesla, and I hadn't seen this one before, and it was very interesting to see what his main focus was, and it was to help the world, the rest of the world. And he got in a fight, obviously, with Westinghouse and with Thomas Edison, who he worked for at the time, and Edison kind of, I guess the word is screwed him out of 50 grand at the time. But Nikola Tesla wanted to bring to the world free electricity. That was his dream, by inventing and advancing alternating current instead of direct current. And so we take that to here, and we take a guy like Len, who is in the same boat, really, wanting to help people do things better. And that's where we are with this. So our next project, our next phase of this project is to get this word out. And I know, Len, that it's not always easy for people to understand how to do that. In fact, it's not easy at all. And so what we have to do as leaders is guide people down that road to teach them what marketing is about. So if you want to jot in the chat there What do you think marketing is before I start talking about it? What is marketing? We're in phase 2 here. Launching, branding, building community, right? How does one brand? We market. So what do we say marketing is? Let's do that, and then Len, come in here and pick up on this and so on. Just want to see if people, the answers that people have here.
No one is putting anything in yet.
Well,
But
we
it's-
want them to.
Yeah, it's getting the word out and telling everybody what you're trying to market.
Yeah, and it's not sales. Marketing isn't
No.
sales. It's a different thing. So
It's
I'll give you the
advertising.
Yeah, that's right. That sums it up. Advertising. Let me just say it is. Marketing is what you do to get your information in front of people. That's it. So
Yeah.
that could be talking on the telephone. That could be handing out, an advertising piece. It could be sending an email, and we're going to be talking about that. But let me bring in Len. Len, I'm really excited about this piece, and I have to thank Bill Hilbert, who is, who has worked with me over, the last couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, and putting this whole thing together, and he really did a great job laying this out. So, Len Kenzie, let's just talk a little bit about what you see. We talked about these numbers in the last couple of days, and we'll give people a vision of what would happen if we had these numbers. So let's just talk a little bit about that and what you see here. And let me go ahead and share the picture while you're doing that. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can grab that Zip and Store postcard. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. So Joe is done an incredible job with this, and I don't think that he's typically a seller. He's more of a network person, but he sees the vision for Zip and Store and for cooler brands in general, and he sees the potential that it has, the Zip and Store has, the cooler brands has, and that the power of this community, if we all work together, he sees the power, the amazing things that this can do. And I was talking to Corey earlier here, and we were talking about this. And, if we have these postcards, these things that you can, hand to somebody, and the power that has when you're in a grocery store or wherever you're at and you're talking to somebody, or you just happen to go by them and you know them, and you can hand this card to them and say, hey, check this new product out that I'm involved in, take a look at it. My information's on there. If you have any questions, my phone number, you can email me or call me, and then you're done. It's not a cold call like you're talking to somebody that you come up to and you meet them in a store. You don't have anything to give them. It's kind of like a cold call if you see somebody. And most of the people that we hand these to, or some of them, they're going to be our friends, that we see. But when you can have something to give them, it takes all the pressure off. You don't have to know anything about it. You don't have to know all the answers. You can hand them the card. It's simple as handing them the card, giving it to them, say, hey, look at this. This is a really unique product. And, I just ordered one of these for my kitchen, and take a look at it. It's really amazing,
And
that's all.
One of the lead-in questions one of the lead-in things to do is to ask a question, and we can, and I just want to give people the idea of the question and how not to talk. You cannot hand this to people and then have a discussion about it. Don't mistake that for the lead-in. Now I can go ahead and talk to them. You can't do that outside. If you were sitting with a family, a friend, and you were sitting at a table and you did that, of course you could do that, but you can't do that outside. You've got to hand them, and the lead-in is, hey, have you seen this? That gets you in control immediately. Have you seen this yet? Take a look at this. This is something, that I just got. It's really cool. Take a look. And you can give it to them. Say, hey, there's some information on the front. And if they ask you a question, say, oh, well, actually, I'm with the company. I'm actually in the marketing department. Look, give me a call and the number on there, and I'll connect you to the people who can help you. That's how you get out of it. That's how the pressure is off of you, that you don't talk to people. It's not, I can't talk to you now. Call me and we'll go over all the, it's, oh, I'm in the marketing department, which you are. You're in the marketing department. You hand that to somebody. You excuse yourself from the conversation. All you can do, remember, marketing is what you do to get the information in front of people. It is not the sale point. So go ahead, Len. I wanted to say that, and so that people understand.
I agree.
They got to get rid of that thinking of, I got to talk about it when I'm talking to people. You don't. You have to do exactly what Len said. Ask them the question, hey, have you seen this yet? Take a look at this. This is really an unbelievable new product. And in fact, I've ordered one, and here we go. But if they start a question with you, just go, well, I actually am with this company. I'm in the marketing department, but look, my number's on there, my email's on there. Go contact me, and I'll connect you to the people who can answer your questions. If you don't do that, you're going to get stuck in conversation that you don't want, and then you'll blow it. Okay.
It takes all the pressure off. It takes all the pressure that you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I say? How do I present this? What if they ask me a question that I don't know? It takes all that pressure off. You hand them a card, ask the question, and that's it. And now you have a person has this in their hand, potentially is going to probably show it to several other people, and you're going to get some sales from that, some potential sales, So look, if we had 100 people doing this for Zip and Store, and they hand out 5 cards a day, 500 people, at least 500 people a day are going to see this directly in their hand, and they're probably going to show it to at least another person over the next day or two, or maybe even more. So that one card has the potential to affect, with 100 people, to affect 1,000 people. Well, let's say that we do that with 1,000 members of Cooler Brands, okay? Now we have 10,000 people a day that are seeing Zip and Store, and the potential for that is amazing, okay? And it's not just powerful for Zip and Store, and it is, okay? But look at this whole picture. Let's say that we do this on a daily basis, and it drives sales for Zip and Store, okay? And so we go to a Walmart or a Target, and they're going to say, look, we see that you did pretty good on Kickstarter. What were your sales after that? And we're like, between the end of September or the end of October, from the beginning of October to, January, we had, 150,000 in sales as well. And they're going to look at that and think, wow, that is amazing. That product must really sell. And it's going to help launch us into more areas and more retail places and more online places. It's just going to do an amazing thing. And excuse me. I talked to Corey, and I use this example. And so let's say that we have 100 people, and Zip and Store is this rock, okay? And it takes momentum, and it takes strength for these 100 people to pull on this rope. And they have their hands gripped on this rope, and they're pulling on it, and they're digging in the ground a little bit with their feet, and they're moving the rock. It's amazing. They're doing a great job, and they're moving this ahead. But let's say that we have another 900 people come grab onto that rope. Now, everybody just has one hand on the rope, and they're pulling on it, and they're walking. And this rock, this huge rock is just flying along. It's coming along as they're walking, and they're pulling it up the hill. And all these people together, combined, is easy for them. And they just pull it up the hill, And when they get to the top at a certain point, this big rock it rolls down the hill on its own momentum, you know, and that's what's going to happen with Zip and Store. These people coming alongside Zip and Store, and they're helping to pull this rock to help start this business. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of networking, a lot of community, and a lot of people to do this. But look at this, the strength, the power of these people. It's not just in 1 or 10 or 20. It's in the whole community as we get together and everybody takes a part in this, okay? And it's not just for Zip and Store. It's for the hundreds and hundreds of products that we're going to launch after this. Can you imagine the huge potential that if everybody helps move the products forward, all the products, some of the products, and they help move them forward, and we have this group of people that help, and they do the launching and the sales and the branding and the marketing. The power of Cooler Brands is going to be something that is unmatched, because here's what's going to happen. Because we're going to have huge success, and we are going to get products that are going to want to come to Cooler Brands because they want to be launched correctly, they want to be launched fast, and they want to be launched with power. And that's what this can do. But we need people to somehow realize this, you know. And look, we are all in sales every day, whether we believe it or not. You sell yourself to a friend, you know. You want to have a new friend, you sell yourself, you give your good points, you know. Where you work, you want to do a new project, you sell yourself every day. So this isn't anything new that you haven't already done. And so, you know, you take one card out, or 2 cards, or 3 cards, you know, you hand these cards out, and you know what? One of those cards, somebody's going to buy one of these, and you're going to get points in the Zip and Store pool, the sales pool, okay? And then you're like, hey, that wasn't so hard. That wasn't, you know, hey, you know, you build on your successes and your, you know, and if somebody doesn't, like, nah, they don't want the card, look, nah, I don't want it, that's okay. Not everybody is going to say yes. You know, maybe there's a stat with this here where out of every 10 cards that you hand out, 1 person is going to buy. And so, you know what? It's just a numbers game now. So you know that every 10 cards that you hand out, buy from those, and you're going to get a point. So you're like, you know what? I want 1,000 of those cards, and I'm going to hand out, and every, you know, out of every 1,000 cards, I'm going to sell 100 of these, or 50, or 75, or 120. It's just a numbers game. And so you work on your strengths, and you have success. You know, and look, failure doesn't, if I fall down and I fail, and I've done this with ideas, you know, these things, some of these things that I created for Zip and Store, they weren't all successes the first time I made them. A couple of them didn't work, and they turned out to be something else, you know. There was a lot of, you know, what you saw in the video and what you see in these pictures here, that wasn't the first try. That was after several attempts, you know. And if I'd given up after the first attempt, we wouldn't have Zip and Store. So I listened to this guy, Les Brown, and he says, look, if you fall down and you can look up, then you can get up, you know. And I firmly believe that falling down, making mistakes, making errors isn't failure. Those are stepping stones for success. For success for me, for success for you, for Zip and Store, for Cooler Brands. It's a success, and if we all work together, the faster this is going to go, the harder it's going to go, the further it's going to go, and Cooler Brands is going to be a force to reckon with that is going to be unbelievable, and I truly believe that. But we have to get these people, the members, to see this and to realize this. You know, there are so many things that are going on with Zip and Store. It's unbelievable. It's just, I can't even tell you this because I'm limited patent wise. What I can say, it's an incredible. This is just incredible. It really is, And to have all these.
Let me ask Shirley. Shirley, first of all, let me just say this: that what you're seeing on the screen is obviously it's going through the computer, the internet. It's on Word. I've expanded it. It's much clearer than you're seeing on there. So that's one thing. I just want you to know that it's not hazy like that on these cards. They're really, really nice cards. Now, the second thing is, Shirley, can you put up on the chat room, if you haven't already, the address where people can order these cards?
Okay.
And let me just talk to you about, let's look at the card for a minute. Here's what it's doing. Watch now. I have the zippandstorevideo.com on a server where people can use that. That's just a direct video link to the Zip and Store video without going to YouTube. So when you go there, it's a clean, so people can go there. Of course, because it's a postcard, they'll have to type that in. And then the order button is your referral, your shop cooler link. And then over to the right, obviously your information, and then your opt-in website. So whatever your opt-in website, everybody has a link for that in Cooler Brands. And you have to give that information when you place the order come through like that. So she'll put that up there where you can click on, and you'll be able to see a clearer, cleaner picture once you go there. If you don't see that or don't remember, just go to the Cooler Brands Facebook page, and I put the link up there as well, so you can click and you can see it there. But let's just go to the plan. Let me just say this. I would love to see 50 people right off the bat get these postcards. If 50 people ordered a minimum of 250 of them. Look, the more you get, the cheaper they are. They go anywhere from 32 cents a piece down to 9 cents a piece, depending on how many you order. If you're going to make this part of your daily plan, one of the plans during the week is to be out and making sure you're giving cards out. Then, the best way to get it is to order 1,000 of these, to be perfectly honest with you. That's the best thing to do. They get the 9 cents a piece. You'll always have them, and you'll be on a good plan for marketing. So my goal is to say, hey, if 50 people right away placed this order, got these in their hands, and then the first thing you do is you go take a list of 10 of the people that you know, non-networking people in your family and friends who you're not asking to work with you or be with you, or maybe have turned you down in the past, but you want them to see this. Use the card as a postcard. You fill it out and put a little note on it. Bob, Mary, Susie, I thought you could, benefit from this. Take a look at this, go to the on the front, and I'll give you a call. Thanks, Joe. Nothing fancy. Just don't try to recruit them. Just get it in their hands. If everybody did that and 50 people, 500 people would immediately see Zip and Store that didn't see it before. Send it across the country. I've already made a list of 25 people I'm sending this to. But start out with 10 and get it in the mail and send it off to them. And then what would you do? You would call them after 3, 4, 5, whatever days, a week, and say, hey, did you get that postcard I sent you? Pretty cool idea, right? And by the way, I ordered one of these, and you can do that now. It's going to be out by Christmas. It's really, really cool. So take a look at that. No, yeah, I did see it. Let me ask you some questions. Now, if it's your friend, you probably could answer questions. Yeah, by the way, I'm one of the founding members, or I actually am working with this company. I mean, I'm in the marketing department, but, certainly you can get information. Just go into the websites. A casual conversation without any thought of recruiting those people. Because the minute they sniff that out, you're going to lose like you have in the past with those people, trying to get them to join you in the project. Don't try to get, they're going to make that decision on their own when they see it. It says right there, visit our work from home offer website. And that's where they'll see the 35-minute video from Peter. That's an opt-in page. So I wanted to explain that and say to you, look, the first plan ought to be get them, make a list of at least 10 people to send them to, and then come up, we talked about this morning, a daily plan. You've got to set down the plan. Okay, I want to have X amount of dollars by this certain time, and so what are we going to do it? Okay, so maybe every day would be a little different. On Mondays, you say, look, you know what? I get out of the house. My goal is I'm out and about. Maybe I'm window shopping, maybe I'm shopping, but my goal before I come home is to drop 5 of these off while I'm shopping. Now, you might take Wednesday and say, you know what? I got 1,000 of these things. I'm going to go drop 100 off in a neighborhood. No mailboxes. You don't ever put them in mailboxes. That's against the law. But you could go and put them on doors. Put them right inside the door. Open the door and drop it in. What if you dropped 100 of those off once a week? What if 50 people did that?
Talking about that, you could punch a hole in the corner of a card, put a rubber band through there, and hang them on the door.
There you go. You do that. There's all kinds of ideas. Get creative. You could go to the supermarket every other day and check on the bulletin board where you hung a few of those up. There's lots of ideas here. The thing is, you got to get the tool in your hands. And I think this is the, again, we are talking social media here, which we're getting expert advice to do. That's one thing to do. This particular thing gets the same kind of information, but physically puts it in their hand. So that's what I wanted to say, Len. I'm going to send it back to you. We got 3 minutes to go here. Any questions in the box? Go ahead, Len.
No.
Sorry.
Just maybe some ideas on, where can they put this? Who can they share it with? Who can they, there's a stranger, I go to Starbucks a lot to work, I just like to get out. And so, over the period of, couple weeks, couple months there, I've met a bunch of people. And it just started with a simple conversation, just, hey, I see you in here a lot. And it starts the whole conversation off, So it's a simple thing to do. And you know what? I struggled with this. If there's anybody that struggled with speaking to people, it's me. I stuttered, until I was 13 years old. It put an incredible thing in my life where I was just afraid to talk to people, I was just... but I realized that if I want to accomplish things that I want to accomplish, I have to get beyond that, and I have to let that go and let my fears go. If they talk to somebody, what's the worst that can happen? Somebody says, no, I don't want to see that. Well, if you don't hand it to them, then they're not going to see it. So what's the worst that can happen? They say no. That's okay. That's okay, But you have the opportunity that they're going to say yes if you hand them the card and share it with them. If you don't,
it's that preparation you have. Preparation for, I don't want to see it. Preparation for, what's this all about? Or, how do I get one of these? You've got to be prepared for those answers. That's why we teach our communication class. That's why we're going to be talking about this on Mondays and Tuesdays for a little while. Exactly what do I do when I hand them? What if they did this? That's the reason that people hesitate, is they don't want to be in that position to say, I don't know what to say. I'll look foolish. And that's why we have to be, preparation is the most important. Look, Len didn't invent this without preparation. Before this thing even was on paper, it was an idea in his head, and then it was out on paper, and then it was to go to work, the physical part of making this and measuring that and making sure that, and then that's all planning. And that's where we have to be. We have to be prepared for all these situations when we actually communicate with another human being. The problem, as we all know now, with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. And that means that if you're talking to somebody in the store and you think they're listening, I'd be very careful of that. That's why you don't say a whole lot. Just because you're talking don't mean they're listening. So I'll leave it at that. Len, you want to say anything?
I'm good. I just like to encourage everybody to, give it their best, give it their all. You have to do it. If you want something in life, you have to go for it. You have to put aside your fears and go for it. It's as simple as that. You may have some failure. You may fall down, and somebody may say no. That's okay. You'll grow, you'll learn, and you become stronger. And before you know it, you'll be handing out dozens of these, or you'll be talking to people about it. You'll be more comfortable, and that's where you need to be.
Okay, well, thanks for being here tonight, everybody, especially Len. Thanks a million for coming aboard. We'll do this again. We really need to continue to get, the marketing end of this down. We clearly need to get our message out there. This is the first tool physically we have in our hands to do that, and that's what we need to do is be part of the solution here of marketing. And so if you have any questions, you can just send an email to the new breakfast club at earthlink.net. You can do that, or jpshoop@earthlink.net. But basically, all you need to do, Shirley, did you put that up there, the web address?
Yes, I did, and I also let him know that 1,000 cards actually comes to $91.95.
There you go. Pretty good. All right, so why don't you read off that web address just so we have it verbally on, for a voice here on the replay.
Yeah, Andrea and Dennis helped me with that because I forgot the last part of it. It's printfounders.com//zip-in-store.
Okay, so let's say it again. It's
www.shop.printfounders.
That's PRINTFOUNDERS, right? Print Founders. Okay.
.com/zip-in-store.
Okay, so there you go, everybody. So, Len, again, thanks for being here. Shirley, as always, thanks for being our administrator here and keeping an eye on things for us. And have a great night, everybody. Go ahead and order these, and we'll be good to go here. And let's get on the ball with getting this information out there. So have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow night, obviously, Wednesday and Thursday night, Cool Brand Calls.
Okay.
Notice it and invite people there. Yes?
See you there.
Okay, good, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks again, Len. Have a great night.
Everybody. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Shirley.
Good night, Len. Good night, Joe.
Good night.